Hi, welcome to the Bitcoin product community orientation. First of all, thanks for hopping on and checking us out. We're really excited to meet you and to help you get onboarded into our group. Here's a quick overview of what we're going to discuss today. First is what is the Bitcoin product community, and we're going to talk about who we are and what some of our goals and initiatives are. Then we're going to define what a Bitcoin product contributor is, because it's a new term that we're introducing. Then we'll talk about rough consensus, which is a decision-making process that we're going to be using as a group. And then we'll talk about some next steps for you. But what is the Bitcoin product community? Well, it's a space for product-oriented Bitcoiners, whether you are technical or non-technical, to collaborate and positively impact the Bitcoin ecosystem. And the 4 initiatives that we are taking on is number 1, to network, share ideas, and develop skills with one another. And the heart behind this is we want this group to be a training grounds for people to learn about product management, project management, marketing, user research, design, even FOSS contributions. And we want people in the community to also mentor others in the group as you learn and grow. The second initiative is to connect Bitcoin projects with contributors. Once you've leveled up your skills, we want to help you get connected to Bitcoin projects that you're passionate about. Now, because Bitcoin is a global phenomenon and a global movement, there's projects all over the world that need tons of help. And so we want to help you find the right project to get involved with. The third initiative is to identify and fill strategic gaps within the Bitcoin ecosystem. And so an example of this might be proof of reserves, right? This is something that custodians should be implementing to prevent the next FTX or the next Celsius. And there should be some type of standard that custodians should be held to. Lastly is to foster collaboration between FOSS and commercial Bitcoin projects. FOSS stands for free and open source software, and historically these two communities, the FOSS communities and business communities, are siloed and they don't really interact or talk with one another. Well, we want to be a space that helps bridge the gap between these two groups because we believe that Bitcoin is bigger than just a single one of them. Now let's define what a Bitcoin product contributor is. When we first launched the community, it was originally for Bitcoin product managers. But as time went on, more people joined from different backgrounds. We had people from marketing, we had designers, we had even engineers join the group. And so that's why we're introducing a new term, Bitcoin product contributors, because product managers no longer fit the bill. And so broadly speaking, a Bitcoin product contributor is someone who drives forward high impact FOSS and commercial projects within the Bitcoin ecosystem. And I know that's a bit general and it sounds a little bit vague and very broad, so let's dive a little bit deeper into what that means. A Bitcoin product contributor is similar but not limited to the role of a product manager. And generally, they're building support networks for the project that they're contributing to. They're organizing tasks, coordinating resources. And resources can mean, let's say your project needs a developer. Well, you're going to go find one. Let's say they need a designer or a marketer or a copywriter. Well, you're going to go find those. Maybe they need funding for the project. Resources is a very broad term, and your job is to go get it for the group, for the project that you're contributing to. And they're also thinking strategically, right? And so they're thinking about what are activities that they can do or the project can do that will bring the most impact. We also believe that the Bitcoin product contributor should embody Bitcoin's ethos of decentralization. And the reason is that even though you might be doing a lot of coordinating and organizing for the group, you are not the boss. And this principle is true for both commercial product and project managers as well, right? Your job isn't to be the boss, but your job, most importantly, is to do the work needed to push the project across the finish line. That's one of the defining characteristics here of a Bitcoin product contributor, which leads us to the last point where they're kind of like janitors. They are doing the dirty work that nobody else really wants to do. And in this way, they're empowering others to do the things that they're really, really good at. Some examples of responsibilities of a Bitcoin product contributor could be documentation, marketing, community building, and If someone's interested in contributing to the project, helping them get onboarded, managing tasks in GitHub, even something so small as scheduling meetings or speaking events for people in your project. These are all examples of what a Bitcoin product contributor might be doing when they first get involved in a Bitcoin project. All right, now let's talk about rough consensus. This is a decision-making process that allows enough time for people to give feedback asynchronously. And if there's not any pushback, then we can have a pretty good idea that we have rough consensus on the issue to move forward. And so the idea here is that because Bitcoin is a global community, your project might be working with people in a whole variety of different time zones. So it's really tough to make a decision sometimes that includes everyone's perspectives. The way that we kind of solve for this is through rough consensus. So we'll post a decision, say, we want to do this, we'll make a proposal, and then we'll give enough time for people to give feedback on their own terms and on their own timing. And so the idea is if nobody complains and if nobody pushes back, you can approximate that you have rough consensus then. So that's basically what rough consensus is. All right, well, now let's talk about next steps. We would love for you to introduce yourself in the Introductions Discord channel. And you can also share a little bit about your background, why you joined the community, what you hope to get out of it. After that, you can check out the other Discord channels. Announcements has the latest announcements for the community. There's also the Learning Club, which is a monthly book club where they go over articles or books about product management so you can level up your skills. Also, I strongly encourage you to take initiative and ask questions if you need help and be involved in the community. If there's proposals or people are asking questions, pitch in and chime in. Don't be shy. Lastly is to subscribe to our calendar and to join our calls. This is probably the best way that you can first get involved and get a feel for the group and the community. And so there's a couple links here that's tied to our Bitcoin product community calendar, and you will get notified of the bi-weekly calls that we have and also interviews that we're going to be having and presentations that we're going to schedule for everyone. So thank you all for checking us out. I'm really excited to see you on Discord and hope you have a good time.